because Joe Rogan, he gave me a shout out this week.
Yeah,
right?
we should. Hey, let's post that now.
I was watching Daniel Negreanu, the great poker player.
So where did we end off? Justin Baldoni sued for $400 million.
Okay, let's talk about a show, the show that is almost, I wouldn't say life-changing for me.
Oh, it's taken all of your attention for sure. I'm freaked out because he keeps saying my name, which creeps me out more. I go back inside, I lock everything, turn on the alarm, and he's still standing out there. And not only is he standing out there, I can see the light on his phone. He's standing back away from out of the camera view.
I got banned on Twitch
for that?
Yeah, it was a lifetime ban, by the way. Yeah. So I've been ready to roll, just for the record.
Yeah.
For 39 minutes.
39 minutes?
I've been ready to roll, but you...
But you said 8:30, so it has been 39.
It's 9:03 right now.
Okay. You said 39 minutes.
Yeah, but I was early. That's why I count that.
Okay. Well, we don't.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. So what was... Because you're not one of those people. I will say this. People always have that joke, oh, women are always late. She's not one of those people. Today she's late, and she has a very, very important reason, which is...
I bought a hair crimper.
Okay.
I was going to try to take it back to the 90s for real and crimp my whole head.
Where'd you buy it from?
God.
Where'd you buy it from? Come on.
I bought it on Temu.
Oh, you told me about Temu.
And I said, don't ever buy shit there.
And you bought a freaking thing to ruin your hair?
I thought it looked so cool. And everyone was like, oh, it actually works. It really works. And like, it looked so good when these people were doing it. And like, what? It made my hair frizz out to like here. I wouldn't to show you. I looked like Blake Lively in that shitty movie. My hair was like out to here and burned looking on the ends. So I had to put it up and rewash the top of my head just to smooth it down a little. That's why I'm late.
Yeah. But is it even your hair?
Yes.
How does that work?
I only have one row of extensions. It's almost all my hair.
Okay. All right. I don't know shit.
I have one little row of extensions. I used to have more, but not anymore. Because my hair has grown so long, the extensions are the length of my hair. My hair's like to here.
Yeah, right by
to
here.
My nips.
Nips that are popping out today. I just saw, it's funny you mentioned, I just watched a random Demi Moore when she was playing G.I. Jane. And she was on a talk show. And she was wearing a white tank top. And just was like...
I think it's fine
popping.
now.
And then she was doing one-arm push-ups.
Oh,
on
nice.
Letterman or something like that.
Oh, and she was like really in shape.
Yeah,
Crazy.
she was ripped. She's like, can you do one-up push? She's like, let's do something. She did like 10. Like that.
Yeah, I'll cover them up for you.
I don't care.
No, I don't think it's a big deal anymore.
What, nips?
Nips out.
I mean,
everyone does it.
I'm all about free the nip. You know, I have a theory about nipples in general, right? So
a theory?
I do. I mean, well, here's where I stand for women. Okay, I fully stand for women in this. Right? We go to the beach, right? Men can wear just shorts, and they don't have to wear anything to cover their chest, which some women find attractive. Some women see a guy, see his chest open, they think, "Ooh, that's sexy," right?
Depends on the chest.
But a woman is repressed by having to hide the nipples and cover up, right? We're not all the way to cover up like Taliban cover up. But the point is, on a small level, how is it fair that men can walk around without a shirt, but women cannot?
I think we sexualize women's boobs
that's not
more
fair.
than a man's.
There was a time when they actually changed the law in Toronto, and there was, as soon as it happened, the first thing these girls did.
Everyone's out.
They did, downtown when you have those people that scrape your windows and wash your windows, they just did it with their tits out. Obviously, they got like crazy tits.
That might be
stuff.
dangerous.
Might be a little dangerous downtown.
A little dangerous.
It is Toronto, though, eh? People would be like, sorry, I looked, eh?
Sorry,
yeah. Sorry, I looked. But but I don't think it's fair. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And like, what is the rationale behind it? What, like, okay, so what? Because women's boobs are attractive? Some people think men's boobs are attractive. Men's chests.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't control yourself. As a let women let them fly. If you want to free the nip, #free the nip.
Also, like sometimes in a shirt you can't help it; they just stick out.
Yeah.
Like if you have hard ones, they just stick out.
I'm talking about the whole shirt off.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're taking tits out. I get it.
Yeah, and is it that crazy? What I'm saying, it really isn't. It comes from a stereotype of like long. It's almost like, again, it's still in the barbaric areas of the world where they still repress women to the point where they have to cover up completely.
Yeah.
But like even in our society, that's how it was. Like, women had to wear, you couldn't wear like in the 50s and 60s, you couldn't wear skirts above the knee. Remember? There was like that.
Yeah.
No, that's too sexual.
Isn't that still like an Amish thing?
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. But it's like, it's all a function of that. And to me, as crazy as it sounds, like on the surface, to say, like going to the beach, why should women have to wear more clothing than men?
Do you think our bottoms should be out?
Well, here's the thing. Boys' bottoms aren't out. Women's bottoms aren't out. Now we're talking equal, right? Boys' chests are out. Women's chests should be, or breasts should be out. Otherwise, it's like, it's equal because there's...
I think guys are just creepy, and that's the
I think
reason.
one of the reasons, or I heard, because I brought this up on X when I was bored years ago and just got into it. And someone said the difference is that the female breasts are a sexual organ.
That's what I just said. We're sexualized breast. Men's chests
I meant
aren't.
because they actually have a function.
Yeah.
Because they, but whatever. That's not like, I don't know. It's 2025. Can't men lactate now? I don't know.
Oh, stop.
Oh, God. I don't know. I don't know the rules.
You're so stupid. By the way, I'm wearing Valentine's socks every day until Valentine's Day. What do you think?
I just did a Valentine's promo. Maybe we could do it together after.
Okay.
Do a better one.
You think?
Yeah.
Even with my hair messed up?
Never mind then. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mess.
I can't believe you're even out on a podcast with your hair like that.
If you would have seen it, I wanted to show you. You would have been like, oh, God, it was sticking out like this.
I probably would have said it looked fine.
I know.
Because I'm a man and that's what we do.
No, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have. It was wild. Mm-hmm. Like frizz. It wasn't just big. It was frizzy. It looked dirty.
Yeah.
And I washed it for the first time in like a week.
You know what I did today?
Nothing. You watched the game?
Watched the Buffalo Bills game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing the black hat.
I like the black hat.
Why do you think I'm wearing the black hat?
For me?
Oh, black, somber, funeral.
Did they lose?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even see.
32-20. They actually got cheated.
Oh, man.
No,
you
they
were
really
so
did.
excited about that.
They really did get cheated.
Yeah.
Me and Christian were talking right before about how the NFL, there's so much technology now. You could just put a chip in the ball and you know exactly where it is at all times. Never have a referee make a mistake.
Oh, so you think that's happening?
What? Mistakes? Mistakes always happen.
Let me get chip in the ball thing.
I'm saying if you do that.
Oh.
You would literally, so let's say, for example, a ball hits the ground right here. You know exactly where it hits, right? When they drop it, all these men, whatever, one ref comes here, one ref comes there. They think, I don't know, put it right around there.
Or put it over there. Yeah.
Why not have the exact moment, right? Especially it's a game of inches, and Buffalo really lost the game of inches on like all the short yardage spots. They got out coached, whatever. So I'm wearing the black somber hat. I had about 5 beers and I made myself a pizza, did a full football day.
You don't seem drunk at all.
No, they're Heine Lights. They're not even,
but even
water.
Sometimes you get like an energy about you when you have just like 2 beers.
Yeah, but I only had 5.
I don't feel any of that.
I only had 5.
Maybe it's because of the loss.
I don't know. Maybe. And also that I started early.
I like the black hat anyway.
I do. Yeah.
It's a nice hat.
I was going to wear the blue one if they won. I got a blue one too.
Yeah.
I was a Bills, but I don't really watch the NFL anymore, as you know. But like growing up, I loved
just Buffalo Bills, right?
Buffalo Bills. I was reminiscing with Hanks today, who's from Buffalo and big fan. And we're talking about, you won't know anything about this, but like back then they had a no-huddle offense and Jim Kelly was the quarterback and he couldn't really run. And I was thinking if Josh Allen, the quarterback now, could go back in time and play that no-huddle, it'd be unstoppable. You hear what I'm saying, right? Imagine Josh Allen in that no-huddle with that team. Oh, man. Unstoppable. So yeah, being a Buffalo Bills
fan. He's going to talk to Christian the whole time?
Well, I don't know. It's not like you know. I asked you to come down and watch Taylor Swift in the booth going, yeah, go Travis.
You didn't ask me. You said Taylor Swift is on. You didn't say come down.
But I know, you were busy.
I was busy.
Busy doing what? Okay, let's get to what you were doing.
Oh.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Dang, man.
What?
Just researching this stupid shit. Right. It never leaves my feed. I can't help it.
Here's the deal. The floor is yours because I know almost nothing. All right? Why don't you go ahead and
We're just
tell
giving
us
an
the
update,
spiel.
right?
Big one.
Okay. So it's not, I don't know if it's big, but like, so where did we end off? Justin Baldoni sued for $400 million to Blake, publicist, and Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yeah, I don't think the footage was released yet when we talked about it.
Yeah, it was.
The latest footage with the 17 minutes of them
dancing? No. That wasn't. Right. No. So the $400 million, and then his lawyer kept promising, I'm going to release more stuff, and you guys will see he's in the right. There's nothing for us to hide. And then you saw it too, before I even showed it to you. His lawyer released a 17-minute long video of them dancing a scene in the movie that was a silent scene when you watch the movie. It's just them dancing in a circle, like falling in love, like looking at each other, kind of falling in love and laughing and like almost kissing, but not. And like a sweet, sexy kind of scene. And with tons of people around, because it's in a bar. There's a game on. And they're just like in their own world dancing, right? she didn't realize that she put that in the lawsuit, that he drug his lips up and down her neck and said, "You smell so good," right? She didn't know he kept audio on through that whole scene. It was not what she said.
Yeah. So what I saw is like they do this for the people that don't know, when you're filming something, you just want to get some shots. It's like
acting.
It's like B-roll-ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you're just going to shoot for 15 minutes.
You say whatever.
You want it to be natural. You want to get some looks. And like, so his vision from what I saw was like, he thought it would be sensual and sexy if they're not talking, right?
Yes, because it's a slow motion scene.
Yeah, they wanted like, some of this and that. And like, I heard her saying like, no, I think we should talk. We should talk. And he's like,
and he's the director.
Yeah, he's the director. And she's telling him like, we should talk. He should talk. And then she mentions.
Very pushy.
Then she mentions that he says something about sorry about my beard or whatever. He
goes, so he tried to, he's being sexy, they're being sexy. And he goes like this to the neck and he says, "Sorry, I'm getting my beard on you." And she said, "Well, I'm probably getting spray tan on you." And he said, "No, it smells good." Just that. Yeah. And she said, "No, it's probably."
No, it smells fine. It's fine. I think.
No, it was good.
I thought she said something like, "Probably smells," or "It smells," and he was like, he was responding to her.
He was. Yeah. "I'm probably getting spray tan on you," and he goes, "No, it smells good." And she said, "Yeah, that's my body makeup." And it was just a simple nothingness, right? And then he said he's trying to make her like get in the moment where they're just staring at each other's eyes for the scene, where it's not talking, where you're like actually falling in love. And she's like, she won't shut up. And they said they went over this and over this and over this. And she just kept saying, "It's better if we talk. It's better if we talk because it makes it look more real if we're laughing and talking," right? And he's like,
that's not the tone he's going for.
That's not what he was going for, yeah.
He's going for that deep connection, looking into each other's eyes.
Yeah.
She's going for, "Oh my God, I love this guy. He's fun."
Yeah, it's a whole different vibe. But he is such a nice guy that he's just like, okay, and he lets her roll with it.
Well, he probably figured there's 17 minutes. They'll get some stuff. But she's just like,
so she's like talking, and he's like talking about the looking in each other's eyes, and he's like, "I bet you and Ryan talk a lot," because they're in character, but they're also talking about their personal lives because it doesn't really matter what they're saying, right? So he said, "I bet you and Ryan talk a lot." She said, "Oh God, we never shut up. We don't have enough time to talk." And
we have no issue talking most of the time.
Yeah, and you're like, "What are they saying?"
You're never gonna find out.
God only knows.
And they win!
Oh my gosh, we don't shut up.
And Emily and I we have these moments where
staring. You just stare.
Literally we've done it for like 5 minutes. it's like, I think you would find it terrifying. We just literally look at each other and like
when
time.
I found a sociopath.
And like time stops.
Yeah.
But like that's just how it's been for us from the beginning.
No, we're like, oh my God, there's not enough time.
Oh.
And they score again.
Yeah.
Again.
It's like, oh my God, I forgot to tell you something else.
I think that's cute. You guys are really cute.
I think it's more than cute.
He talks about how he and his wife can look in each other's eyes silently for like 5 minutes straight. And he said, "I bet that frightens you." And he was like being nice and laughing. And she's like, "Oh God, sociopath," is what she called him. Like that you could do that. And then she proceeds to tell him, he goes in close and she goes, "Oh, so nosy," because their noses touch.
He has a big nose.
And he says, "I know, I have a big nose." And she said, "Yeah, I wanted to address that." And then she makes a joke of like taking a month off to get a nose job, for him to get a nose job. And he laughed and said, and he said, "And that's why we hired Jenny Slate as my sister, because we have matching noses."
Yeah.
People went crazy. "Oh, he's nose shaming Jenny Slate." And he's like, "No, she was cast as my sister because we have similar noses."
Yeah.
I was nose shaming her.
Who cares? The bottom line is like, if he would have said that to her, that she needs a nose job.
She had one.
I know, but if he would have said something like that, "Ooh, you have a big nose." She said it, and he's like, "I know, it's fine."
Laughs it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she can't take the heat, but she gives it a lot. So that whole scene was literally...
She sounded frantic and crazy. Like,
the texts were insane.
I mean, just like watching that video. We should talk. I think we should talk. It's better if we talk.
And he said, "You and Ryan," he goes, "You guys are cute. You guys are really cute."
We're more than cute.
I think it's more than cute. That's what she said. And he was like, okay. Like, what am I supposed to say here? It felt very awkward. And then he goes, "Cut." And you can see that when he says cut, he went right back to director mode. Nothing cute, nothing like that. Just walked away, went right back to director mode. And she's kind of left like standing there. And the theories are all over the place, right? But Candace Owen, who I don't have much love for, I don't really like any of her stuff. I don't know about you,
Ugh.
but she gets on my nerves pretty bad. She's been really following this closely. She doesn't usually do the pop culture stuff. She's all political, but she's doing this. And I've been watching everyone's stuff because I can have an open mind. I can have critical thinking. And if she has good information, even though I don't like her, I can still listen to her.
Smart.
So I was listening and just seeing what she had to say. And she said she has inside sources who really know them, who worked on the film, who say that Ryan Reynolds was the real problem. That he came on set and took over. He was there every day. That someone said that he saw something he didn't like. And they think that he saw something that maybe Blake did that he didn't like. Because Justin didn't have attraction to her. He told her, I'm not attracted to you when they got into the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she thinks that Ryan saw some sort of text between them that he didn't like because the texts were all weird. And like they text like 2 a.m. about scenes. Wasn't anything like on his part. If you see, it's not weird. She says some stupid shit.
Yeah. I'm going to turn the air down for a second. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you go.
See, I'm just asking and being polite.
Well, yeah, but you should.
Okay. There you go. Done.
Yeah. She says some weird things like, did we talk about the Khaleesi and the dragons thing?
Khaleesi and the dragons.
Okay, so
that she's
that Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds are her dragons, and she's Khaleesi.
Oh, yeah. She's Khaleesi, and those are her dragons.
It was like a threatening kind
she's
of
real
text.
sane. Yeah,
It was a threatening kind of text, like these are my dragons. They'll do whatever I need them to do, sort of thing. And he's like, okay, he just seems he's a very sensitive type of person. You could tell, sensitive, like feminist type guy. Not the type of guy who she's portraying him to be. Okay. So not only did he lose 3 jobs so far, he got a women's award taken away from him where he stood up for women and did all these conferences and talks and things. So he was passionate about domestic violence. They took his award away, knowing nothing, just the first week. And then WME dropped him first week. And Candace said she found out that Ryan said, it's us
or him.
And they dropped him immediately.
Yeah.
And when he said us, he meant Taylor Swift too.
I would imagine, like, hopefully this all comes out okay for him because he has the receipts. He has the video. Can I tell a side story that relates to me? And then you can continue?
Yeah.
Okay. Because having that video is so huge in the world that we live in, right? Because like all the things she said or whatever, it's just fact. People buy it.
She didn't know it. There was audio.
Right, we sort of covered this, right? But like, we've covered this many times in the pod. But like, so this happened to me where I was thankful to have video. I was vlogging.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I'm leaving the World Series. I'm going on a break. And when I do, I bring out my selfie camera. And so I'm going out
good.
talking
You
about
vlog
the hand.
everything.
Yeah, I'm vlogging it, right? I'm vlogging. Okay. I open up the door to the main hallway. Okay. I'm over here. There's a girl. She's actually wearing a tinfoil hat.
The crazy girl, yeah.
No, I'm not making that. That's not, she actually had a tinfoil on her hat. True story. Okay?
I know.
She's over there behind me. Okay. To the left or whatever. I see her. I'm like, I know who she is or whatever. And I don't acknowledge her. I just start talking and she says some crazy shit to me.
Yeah.
Like about, you want babies to have COVID? I don't know. Whatever.
It was wild.
It's like, I don't know. Anyway, she said some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So she starts walking and I'm doing the vlog. So I walk the other way.
You're like ignoring.
Yeah.
Huh?
So
I know you.
Huh?
Do I know you?
I don't know. You look familiar though. How's it going? You good?
I was better before I saw you.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Okay. You guys are good. It's all good. Alrighty then. Okay. All right. So what was I saying anyway? I'm gonna go this way because
Back to those kids, right?
what are you doing? Whack.
Yeah. So I'm walking. My room is over here. I walk to the right just because she's walking that way. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I go the other way, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Go to Twitter, X.
Uh-huh.
Read the story about how I bumped her and pushed into her.
And kind of followed her.
And followed her. And I
Uh-huh.
was like, harassing her.
Yeah.
And it was this big, long thing, right? So what do people do? You read this, what an asshole Daniel is, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe he did that.
Ooh, be
I wonder if
creeping
he
with
did
this
that.
lady.
Not look at the credibility of the source, but like, he must have done that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then luckily in the vlog the next day, I go, voila, here is the video. As
There
you can
she
see,
is. You can see
maybe
her.
if you can get a clip, just show like where I'm at, where she's at.
doing.
And I never go near her direct. I like try to get away from her. But it's,
Yeah.
so that's the thing, like with this case, with with him and Baldoni, and it feels like everyone in Hollywood or anytime you deal with someone who has a reputation like Blake Lively has, you just have to keep the receipts, man.
Yeah, well, because it's like, she's always been kind of America's Sweetheart with Ryan Reynolds and they've been this big couple or whatever. But like, if you go back and you look, you see all these mean girl things she's done, dating back to Gossip Girl, how she treated Leighton Meester, like just things that she's done that people have kind of ignored, you know? And now they're bringing it all up. And listen, I don't think you should like bring up things people did in high school and stupid shit because everybody changes, right? I get that. But she's kind of consistently been like kind of rude to people, you know? And Justin has never had any of that happen to him.
Yeah.
So I think that matters.
I agree. I think credibility in this case, 100% in his corner, because like you said, he's never had any accusations like this. If you have like 7 or 8 or even 3 or 4, you're like, okay, this is suspect. She's had plenty. You told me this, that
I showed you a few.
Plenty of people have worked with her and said, she's like impossible to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now where's the case at?
So
like,
the thing is Candace Owens is saying Ryan saw something he didn't like from sources that she knows. She won't give the source, so who knows what's true.
I just don't trust her at all.
I don't trust her either. But, you know, maybe she knows something we don't know. So I'm just listening.
So here's the thing with her. She might know one little thing.
And spins it out of control.
Becomes all these things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, someone said Ryan Reynolds was there. Oh, you know what I heard?
Well, he was there.
And then he was there every day and he was doing this. And she just makes shit up. Like she does this, she has this pattern of just getting.
He was there quite often. There's video.
No.
And what he does is makes fun of Justin Baldoni all the time. Now, we know that he's a jokester, Deadpool, you know how he acts, right? And I know some people have a dark sense of humor. I do too sometimes. But there's a difference in dark and like kind of mean. And if you watch, I hope you guys can find this clip for me. You can't. It's on everybody's vlog or blogs right now or whatever. In Deadpool, he uses an alter ego of Deadpool called Nice Pool in his last one. And it was filming the same time as they were filming The End of Us or whatever. And he is being Justin Baldoni in the scene. 1000% hands down. He's like, gives himself like a man bun like him. And he's like talking about his wife just had a pregnancy and looking good after pregnancy. He says some things like that. And he says like, I'm a feminist.
There's one bit that I think may be the clue. I'm going to play it for you and then we'll discuss.
But my calling is to one day host a podcast that monetizes the women's movement.
Hey, cowboy, my eyes are up here. I know it's tempting.
Was Ryan Reynolds a little insecure?
And he makes fun of, like, he says word for word things that Justin Baldoni has said.
So that movie came out right after they'd worked together on this movie.
They were doing it at the same time.
Okay, so he had exposure to him, right?
So they're using that. They're already using that. Like, he's making fun of him. So he's doing all these jokey things, but like, so how serious could that DV be? If he's doing all these jokey things,
What's
domestic violence.
Oh,
like if that's
who's claiming there's domestic violence?
Well, the movie's about domestic violence. And she's doing sexual harassment, and now she's saying abusive.
Yeah,
that's the word. Abuser is what she's called.
And I heard you told me something else, that she was releasing stuff, right? And then he released the thing, and now she's trying to put a gag order on him.
Ryan Reynolds and Ryan and Blake said gag order.
Imagine you play the game where you're like, you know what? I'm going to leak all this stuff to the press.
To the New York Times.
And then the other person does, and you're like, hey, you can't do that.
Yep. And there was this lady who came out. You remember the woman, and maybe we'll have a clip of that too. The woman who interviewed Blake, however long ago, when she was pregnant with her last baby, and told her she had a cute baby bump. Remember? She was a Norwegian interviewer, very sweet woman. And Blake told her she had a bump.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
She was skinny and normal, like just awkward, weird, mean type thing. And then didn't look at the interview with her in the whole interview, just talked to the woman next to her. Anyway, that's one thing. And she came out and she's been talking about it. She has a YouTube channel. Anyway, she said she almost ended her career because she made her feel uncomfortable, because she felt so disrespected that she just didn't know if she wanted to do this kind of work anymore.
Damn.
That it made her feel that bad.
I made the baby bump mistake one time, or twice probably.
Oh, don't do that.
No,
she was 8 months pregnant.
Our
this
old
is
neighbors,
different.
right? They already have like 2 kids, and I see her and she's got a baby bump. I say, oh, you guys expecting?
Oh, God.
And she goes, no. Okay, let me crawl back into
No, that has to be confirmed.
I mean,
yeah, that has to be confirmed. Blake's was confirmed. She was 8 months pregnant. It was confirmed.
Yeah.
So you're allowed to say that. And she said, I was trying to break the ice You know, that was how cute. You know, how you look so cute. And it backfired on her and she was mean to her. Yeah. So she's come out and she's doing a whole thing on this Blake Lively stuff too. I feel like everybody's involved right now.
So now there's just, what's the deal? Like, so is there a gag order?
What I was going to say is the woman, the Norwegian woman who is a journalist said it was so shocking to her because she's done media. She's written for a bunch of different publications, right? Articles, whatever. And she was so shocked at the New York Times. And I'm like, I'm not, because you can't trust media anymore, right? But she's like, I was still very shocked at what they did. They took Ryan and Blake's story, cherry-picked text, took off emojis, did all these things, just not journalistic integrity, right? And put this story out about Justin Baldoni, gave him like 3 hours on Christmas Eve to respond, and he didn't see it because it's Christmas Eve or something like that, right? And didn't give him any time to respond, and then fucking published it. And they did that on purpose. The timing was on purpose, and they were wrong, and they said shitty things. They're going to have to apply. Oh, he's suing them for $100 million.
Baldoni is?
Yeah. Because that's what started the whole thing, and that's why he lost all of his jobs.
Yeah. See, that's where the problem with, for lack of a better term, cancel culture, right? Mm-hmm. This guy's not convicted of anything. He's been accused of stuff that he's showing receipts, says he didn't do. In the meantime, it doesn't matter.
He lost everything.
Because he's losing all those things, you know? And like, I have a big problem with that.
Me too.
And hopefully, like, you know, we see like people, the thing about that's tough is, like I said, is like when you fight back and you push back, it costs you a shit ton of money, you know, to do that. Like, you got to pay lawyers. It's such a scam that like you could sue me for something.
And you have to pay.
So let's say you sue me for something and you say you want $20,000. Okay. Well, I didn't do it. So I want the fight. How much is that going to cost me? Oh, $75,000. Got it. Okay. So I'm paying $75,000 not to pay $20,000. That doesn't make any sense, which also on a bigger picture, it allows big corporations or whatever to take advantage of the little guy. Because big corporations, they can throw money at legal fees and all that sort of stuff, where mom and pop people, they can't afford that. Like, for health insurance and things like that, right?
Yeah. I think another thing, what popped in my head is that a lot of people are realizing that Ryan and Blake made a huge mistake. Because Wayfarer, which is Justin Baldoni, his production company, he opened with a billionaire, Steve somebody, who is a philanthropist who only wants to do good, who wants to give away $1 billion, by the way, is like, I'm on your side.
Who's this guy, Steve? Is he the one that owns the Clippers?
I don't know. He owns Wayfarer with Justin Baldoni. I don't know what else he owns. But the point is he has all of the money to fight back for Justin, and he's in. So they've kind of made a mistake by being like, oh, we're the big dogs here because he's got way more than them.
It's so unfair. Like, here's the very least what I think they should change the law in the United States. If you sue me for something, okay, and I'm found to be innocent, you must pay whatever legal fees, or at least like some nominal amount of legal fees. Let's say, for example, I get a really, really good lawyer, so maybe you can't afford that. But like, you need to pay like the $400 an hour.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, like maybe, and then you know what would happen? There'd be a lot less lawsuits, especially a lot less frivolous lawsuits when there's actually some skin in the game or some risk. But like often what these people do is they'll hire an ambulance chaser type lawyer or something. And the guy's like, you know what? We can just put out a big number, right? We can settle, right? There's some of these guys, these ambulance chasers, they settle 97, 98% of their cases out of court. Yeah. So what they do is they start with this absurd number that they know they're never going to get. Then they negotiate and they get something. So then they get their piece. So they don't actually take money. They don't get paid. They just negotiate a deal. And like, you know, to make things go away. And that whole system that we have, I don't know, is there any systems? There's got to be in other countries where it's not like that.
I have no idea.
Because in the United States, like it's such a mess.
Yeah.
Like that is so, you know, that can be so angering. And like what he's got to go through right now. Right?
I hope that it changes. I hope it changes cancel culture. I felt like the Johnny Depp thing might change cancel culture because that was so huge.
But that's the thing. Even with that, it's funny, like despite all the evidence, despite how obvious it is that like he was a shit, he was an alcoholic, he was a cocaine addict.
They were both bad.
He verbally abused her. He was rude and mean and all. He was all those things. But it was clear that all the other claims she was making, complete bullshit.
She was just as bad. She was worse.
Right. And they're bullshit, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter to so many. So many people say he was convicted in London. Like it was a different case. It wasn't even like, he wasn't allowed to present evidence. Remember, you know what I'm saying, right? Like it was the first one. That's why he fought back.
They didn't let him show anything.
I do think this, though. I think that enough people, like I think it was worth it for him because had he not done that, the label sticks.
He only did is get his reputation back.
He did, and it worked, though. Like, of course, he's exposed for some things, but nobody really cares. He's an artsy guy. Okay, so he drinks and does drugs, like whatever.
Yeah.
You know, the abusive part, like they were both really shitty to each other.
She was super abusive too.
Yeah, and like for him to do that, like he knew I'm going to look like an asshole here.
Yeah.
Right.
Even he knew he was going to have to show all those texts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're going to have to. Oh, this is brutal. Did I tell you they're going to have to show all of Ryan and Blake's text? That's really shitty. That'd be like showing you and me our text.
They have to show it in court. All their texts to each other?
All their texts to each other that pertains to the movie and Justin Baldoni.
So how do they get
How
access
embarrassing.
to that? How do you get access to that? What do you go? How do you get that?
Phone companies have it for 5 years.
So what do?
Even if you delete your text?
So you summons the phone company?
Yes.
And you say, you must give us, but then you
They
said
have
only
to.
texts that relate to this case. Like, do they have to weed them
lawyers
out?
have to go through those.
So the lawyers get to see all of them.
Yes.
And then they weed out some.
Yes.
Right.
How embarrassing, right? Because they did that with Johnny and Amber. They brought out awful text. Remember he said he would, like wanted to kill her at one point? Like,
Yeah.
Because you say things.
Right.
But like showing text between me and you about like I would die.
She shat on the pillow. So, yes, I had a rather large glass of wine.
That was
mega pint.
2 different scenarios.
I know. I just put them together. It's funny. But
Well, I guess we'll see. But that's all I wanted to say about that until we get more information.
On the Baldoni. Okay, so we're waiting for a case to.
I don't know. I think Ryan Reynolds was pretty involved. That's what I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they teamed up on this one.
I'm sure that'll come out. He was one of the dragons.
I'm sure he was.
It's weird that Taylor Swift is involved after last.
I don't think she wants to be.
No, but she mentioned her as a dragon.
Yeah, but I think that probably pissed her off. I can't imagine she wants to be involved in this.
She doesn't need
I'm
that.
sure she didn't want to be called that.
Mm-mm.
I'm sure she's not into this.
One of Khaleesi's dragons.
Yeah, she's probably like, bitch, why are you bringing my name into this?
Yeah.
Damn.
So like side topic, but it's okay.
Yeah, all the
it
topics.
sort of makes me think of like, because you live in this world where you look at Blake Lively and you're like, wow, I mean, you loved her, Ryan Reynolds, and like
because I love the humor.
So you see like the public facing image of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like you get cracks behind the scenes that are unreal, and it's sort of a segue to the next one of the topics I want to talk about was like in the last couple of weeks, obviously Trump is now the new president, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was at Jimmy Carter's funeral sitting next to Obama. And it was like Trump was talking to him and Obama starts laughing. And it looks like they're sort of giggling, joking with each other. And then you see like Trump went to California and he's like hugging it out with Gavin Newsom, right?
I saw that weird handshake.
Yeah, but then they did like a thing, whatever. It's like, so it makes you wonder too with that stuff. It's like, it makes me think of poker in a weird way. Because in poker, like you go hard against each other, right? Like you try to bluff people, you try to do whatever you can psychologically to break them. But then at the end of the game, it's like you realize it's just the game. So I wonder like how much of that with these people, right? Like how much of it was just Obama just being classy and like.
I think there's a lot of that.
Right. And just being like whatever, like bygones be bygones. But like these people, like on the stump, on the campaign trail, you have to go in on all these hardcore attacks, right? But then in the end, you all work together. Like I remember.
I think they actually hate each other, but public facing, they have to be like, ha ha ha.
Like so way back when it was Obama or Hillary Clinton for the Democratic nomination, right? Mm-hmm. And they were going at it, and there was the whole lipstick on a pig thing that went wild, and it was heated. Like it's heated when you go hard against you.
Yeah.
And then you see them after they're laughing, they're chuckling. He hired her on his cabinet and all this sort of stuff. Like you wonder, like, so it almost makes you wonder, like. Oh, I mean, I think a lot of it is theater, and I think a lot of it's just acting. Like
sometimes, yeah.
Like I don't even think sometimes that like from what I heard, Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell, who couldn't be more like, they were like buddies. They're like friends.
Well, you can't say the things Trump has said about Biden and Biden like him. There's no way. They don't like each other.
I wasn't saying. I mean, Jill voted for him, so
yeah, whatever. I'm just saying.
I think Jill Biden voted for Trump.
There's no
100%.
way Biden respects Trump. There's no way the way things
he does
said
think
about
he could beat him. He said he still believes that, right? I was actually watching oddly The View of all things.
Ew.
Only
what
because
is wrong with you? What have you turned into?
It was on The View. What the hell?
Yeah, you've turned into that. The View.
No, it was a reason I wanted to see is because there's a podcast I used to listen to, Pod Saves America, and it was John Favreau and Lovett and the three guys who do the pod, and they were talking about like Biden, and it's like because Biden still to this day like thinks he would have won. It's like, can't we just let the guy have a bone? Just let the old man have a bone. Just let him think that he would have won. Like, why do we got to fight it? Just let him, let him have his moment. Because for Biden, it's legacy related, right? Like for him, he's like he thinks he was the one that beat Trump, right? So that's like the positive part of his legacy, and he wants to believe that like
also he's done a lot of good in his life too.
It wasn't him that caused Trump to win again. you know, it was Kamala, and there's like, because there's a whole bunch of, you know, again, I don't know. The whole point is like, so
I think
many
he's
people,
old and we should let him fucking rest.
Exactly. That's the kind of the point. But like, I guess the whole reason I brought it up is like what you see, like the public facing image of people, Blake Lively, you know, Justin Baldoni, like all these people, you don't really know.
No.
Like so many people think they know me. They think they know you from the limited conversations we have here, from the vlog.
Right.
And you know some stuff about us.
You know
get a
more
vibe.
about us than
You
other
get
people.
probably more than those people.
Yeah.
You get a vibe of who people are, but you don't really know people unless you actually sit down with them. And like, that's why I kind of love in a way, like the new podcast form of sitting in front of people.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are getting to know people on a different level now. The people who do real podcasting like
There's
this.
no question
Yeah.
that like podcasting, like if you're running a campaign, forget going on NBC News for 8 minutes
totally.
and doing 3 talking points.
Yeah.
What people want to see, and this is true. I read this really long piece about it. It makes sense.
Long-form interviews.
People want to know who you are.
Yeah.
Right? So Trump, to his credit in this case, which guy's like 80 years old, he was doing Theo Vaughn. He was doing...
and talked about... didn't really talk about politics.
3 hours, right? So people got to see... He was able to normalize himself, right?
Yeah.
Where on the other side with Kamala, you had people felt as though she was packaged, inauthentic, and like just, you know, doing the stump speech.
I agree.
right?
She's repeating herself in different ways.
Because Joe Rogan, who shout out, by the way, he gave me a shout out this week.
Yeah,
right?
we should... Hey, let's post that now.
But that right there is crazy because my opinion of him shifted briefly when I was I was watching Daniel Negreanu, you know, the great poker player, was on Tim Pool's show.
Yeah.
And they were talking about his shift in political ideologies, and then a lot of it came from when they were accusing Trump of saying that thing that Obama repeated falsely during the campaign, was that he was talking about white nationalists and neo-Nazis and saying there's very fine people on both sides. And Negreanu had heard that. He had heard the clip where Trump said it, where it was edited. He had never seen the full thing. And then once he saw the full thing, he was like, what the fuck? And it immediately made him realize, like, oh my God, they're lying. They're lying. And then he talked about how Obama repeated, this is years after Daniel had known it was false, Obama repeating it at the campaign speeches. And then Obama's sitting right next to Trump and they're joking around with each other. Hey, pal, I know you're a neo-Nazi lover, you fucking rascal. How'd you win? Like, it's... But just what that lady did on that show, and then when we find out that Hegseth didn't actually write that, he just published it. You know,
so shout out from Joe Rogan.
That was awesome.
Joe Rogan mentioned that he wanted to have Kamala on. Like he tried to make it work. And they had all these, you know, rules. It's like,
come to me.
But here's the thing. Some of the rules are crazy. Like they're so bad for her. Like she was in Austin. He's like, I'll do it whenever you want. Right. And then they're like, come to me, which means, and then to
you
build
only
the
get
set,
an hour.
they want to spend like $800K on the set. It's like, no wonder you blew $1 billion.
Call her daddy did that for her.
Yeah. She built the set
She
for like $300,000.
went to Washington, D.C. and built her own set to look just like
Instead of just going there.
And got an hour.
Right. And Joe's like, this is the mothership. This is where I do it.
Joe's like, nah.
No. And he said, here's the thing. They were going to give him 45 minutes. Well, here's the thing. In 45 minutes, you ask like 8 questions or something. You have your answers canned, right? You don't know anything about the person authentically, right? He's like, it's hour 3, bro. Like hour 2 and 3 is
get
where
broken
you really
down.
get the good stuff.
It's
right?
true.
Because
Yeah.
by then you'll get a sense. And he said, listen, I won't go. He said, like, I'll talk about whatever she wants, man. I'll talk about movies, whatever I just want to get to know the woman. And like, he would have been nice.
Let's talk
he's like
about
that.
anything.
He has people on from both sides, whatever, and he's always nice to them. And like, I think, he would have, and it was I mean, I don't think it would have mattered for her.
No,
but it's
I
a
don't
huge
either.
mistake.
But it would have been helped her.
The mistake is the PR, the campaigns not realizing or too late to the show that podcasts are where it's at.
Yeah.
Okay. This is how people get to know people today.
Yeah.
It's no longer going to be the captivated, like, short form news clips that they edit together. It's going to be like the long stuff. And then you take clips from it. Right. And then, those are what go viral.
I respect Trump for not knowing what he was going to be talking to Theo about.
Yeah.
Because he figured it was going to be political, like everything.
Oh, Theo.
And Theo went in and asked him very personal questions about his brother being an alcoholic and drug use and like what he thinks about all of these issues. But like, he didn't know he was walking into that,
One of my favorite Theos is, you can't even do cocaine anymore. Because it's with fentanyl.
He's like, isn't that crazy?
But yeah, I do think for a lot of people, and you could blame it's like,
hey man,
I think they had, and here's the thing, when you think of like what I'd like to see out of politics is money, right? This does that. Like
Yeah.
because these campaigns, like, okay, Kamala's campaign spent $1 billion, ended 20 million in debt, right? It's a crazy amount of money.
It was
that
weird.
people are, what are you doing? Right?
Yeah.
What are we spending this money on? I guess TV ads, all this kind of stuff. When if you go on a podcast, you don't pay for that. You just go.
Sometimes they do pay people to go on.
I'm saying they pay you.
Yeah.
But you don't have to pay to go
them.
on.
Right.
Right? You're not going to pay the Call Your Daddy girl. You're not paying Joe Rogan, you know, as like a paid sponsorship. He wouldn't take the money, right?
No.
So the amount of money you spend on that it's not money, it's time. And I think like going forward, the world's changed. Like, love it or hate it. Like the idea of like, you know, Elon always says, you're the media now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of truth to it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because we don't have to, we're not beholden now to what we're told.
He
He's
never
like,
stops.
he's over it. Maybe because
they don't even know. Can they see him right now? So fucking funny, isn't he? Look at him.
Yeah, get that spot, buddy.
Just rip this couch apart, this chair.
Your spot? You're trying to find a comfy spot.
It's
with no
so
bugs on
funny,
it.
isn't it? Look at this one. Put them both.
All right, so enough of that.
Okay, let's get out of the politics.
Okay, let's talk about the show that is almost, I wouldn't say life-changing for me.
Oh, it's taken all of your attention for sure.
I literally have never, I wanted to go on Survivor for a long time, right?
Yeah, but you were a little afraid of that one.
I always said to myself, it would suck.
Because you'd have to train hard.
I'd also have to miss the World Series, or at least half of it, because they do it in the summer. They
And
film in
still.
the summer. Huh?
And you might with this one.
Right. So Survivor, as I get older too, it gets a little more difficult. And like,
They have a
honestly,
lot of water sports and stuff.
it's a small thing, but I'm a vegan, right? So when you're in fucking island,
you're eating
I'm
what
eating
you can.
whatever I got to eat.
You
know
gotta
what I
eat
mean?
fish and
But the
stuff.
problem is like for me to do that, I wouldn't want to do that for the first time in 20 years or 30 years, however long I've been a vegan, whatever, 20 years or something.
Over that, yeah.
I wouldn't want to, for the first time, like eat meat and like who knows what my stomach's going to say about that.
Yeah,
Probably
you'd have
nothing
to
good.
practice.
I'd have to practice doing that. The good news is I would have the best coach ever in the history of
Boston Rob,
who is on
We love the Traitors.
this season of Traitors.
Okay, I'm obsessed with it too. I'll
You
be
love
honest.
it. I'm glad that we both love
I
it so
do
much
love
because
it.
it's like so up my alley with strategy.
I do
and
think
stuff.
that you would be really great on the show. I do think people would definitely mistrust you immediately because you're a poker player.
Yes.
So you'd have to get past that part.
So Kevin
But don't
Martin,
give your strategy.
Kevin Martin, poker player, GG. What's up, Kev? He did the Canadian version.
Yeah.
You know, he should I spoil? Well, no.
It's old, isn't it?
Yeah, it's old. Okay,
Who
small
gives a
spoiler.
shit?
Like right off the bat, he got a traitor. Like right off the bat, he's like, boom.
Yeah.
He made the read or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you mentioned. First of all, I think I'd be a really good addition to the cast.
Would you want to be a traitor?
Yeah, but I would.
Should we tell the people what the show is about?
Yeah, like so. I'm
kind
going to
of?
give you a little background. Okay?
Yeah.
So I was going to give you the whole spiel, but like if you've heard of the game Werewolf, okay, and I
Mm-hmm.
sort of explained it to her this way because this is where the game came from. Werewolf was a game created by a Russian political scientist or something. He wanted to prove that in a group, let's say a group of 20 people, the 3 or 4 people with all the information can control the entire group.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
And they can run, which is essentially like an extension of politics in that, you can control the masses if, with a few. He was trying to prove that with this game.
Yeah.
So how does the game work? Okay. Let's say there's 20 people. They sit around
Start
this
with
round
22
table.
people.
Okay, 20. You can start with whatever number you want.
I'm just telling you.
So let's say you start with 20. One person has to run the game. Everybody wears a blindfold. Okay. The person running the game chooses, you could say anywhere from
When you
2
say
to 4.
running the game, it's a host.
He's hosting the game. He's
Okay.
also running the game, in terms of like he's choosing who's
Who's the
the
traitor,
Right.
yeah.
So in Werewolf, the traitors are the werewolves. And then it's called werewolves and villagers. In Traitors, they go with traitors and faithfuls. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens now is, let's say they pick 4, just throwing it out there.
Everyone's
They
blindfolded.
pick 4 traitors. Okay. Everyone takes the blindfold off. Okay. Now we look around the room.
So
try to
how
get a sense.
how he picks the traitors, he walks around the table
Mhm.
a bunch of different times, and he just taps the shoulder of who he wants to
if
be
your
the
shoulder's
traitor.
tapped, you're a traitor. Okay. But right when you pull your blindfold up, you don't know who the other traitors are.
And you can't make any like facial expressions that you might be one.
Yeah, you don't know who the other ones are. So you know
Right.
nothing about that, right? Now they reassemble, they convene at night in a private room. The traitors come in all cloaked and they open up and they see who the traitors are.
Each other,
So
yeah.
now the object of the game is this. The traitors need to kill off all the faithfuls. Okay? Or no, they need to kill off the faithfuls. The faithfuls need to spot the traitors and get rid of them.
Yes.
So on night 1, the traitors get together and they decide we're going to kill one person. And they choose who they're going to kill.
Every
Okay?
night they get to kill someone.
Right. They're going to kill someone. So there's challenges and stuff
it's
like that.
strategic.
There's challenges for money and shields and this sort of thing. But like ultimately the crux of the game is this. The next stage is the next roundtable is there's a big discussion. Everyone talks. And now the group, the faithfuls, they have to figure out like, who's the damn traitor?
And what makes me so interested in the roundtables is that like one person can change everyone's opinion and get them on to someone. And if you're really good at that, Boston Rob is really good at that.
He's the greatest
insane.
reality show. The thing that's so difficult for him is people know he's so good.
Yeah.
So nobody trusts him.
But they still want to be on his side.
Yeah, exactly. Because you'd rather be on his side than not on his side. Right?
Yeah, but they all trusted him when
the moves he makes,
when he did the whole thing the last week or 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
the Traitor.
Maybe we don't give away spoilers for this one just because people might want to watch it after we talk about it.
Okay.
But yeah, so then like what I said, so then basically what happens is there's a discussion about who they think the traitors are. Now everybody individually votes. Whoever gets the most votes is eliminated from the game. Now that person stands up in front of everyone, they do a little spiel, and they reveal
Am
if
I
they
faithful
were,
or am I a traitor?
Right. And it's like they almost always get them wrong off the bat. It's like they never, like I said, the value of information amongst the few. And so then everyone's like, oh my God, I thought they were a traitor.
Because you remember,
whatever.
there's only a few traitors. And in the end, if there's even one traitor left, the traitor gets all the money.
Yeah.
So the point is you want all the traitors out.
Right. So the spin on this game, which is different than Werewolf, because they actually add extra layers. Because I watched the end of season 2, and it's really, really cool. So when there's 4 left.
We watched that, both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when there's 4 left, this is cool. So you don't know it's still at this point who's a traitor, who's not, or if they're already. At 4 left, everyone gets to decide, we'll end the game now, right? Or we kick somebody else out.
Or we keep playing.
Right. Yeah, we keep playing. Now, if you end the game now and one of the 4 is a traitor, they get all the money, right? If it's 4 faithfuls, they split the money, right? So what you typically see is, all right, let's get one more gone, you know?
Yeah,
so then they do it again. Now there's 3. And you go, okay. So imagine you're down to 3. This is where I thought the strategy was very, very clear. I'm just going to, because it's season 2.
Yeah, and I already knew who won.
Should I say? Oh, no, I'm not going to say. So the 2 people, I don't want to say who won because
it's all over fucking
I hate doing that. We shouldn't be the spoiler pod.
It's old.
So yeah, it doesn't matter. But anyway, the 2 people, so there's 3 left, right? It's pretty obvious they're all faithful. Okay? Pretty obvious. They're like, there's no. Whatever.
I thought so.
But the 2 people know each other really, really well. And so there's like, they could split it 3 ways. Or what's the point?
Split it 2 ways.
Vote her out.
Yeah.
Right? And now you 2 split. And there was a move made in that season 2, that your friend, and I'm not going to name her, made an amazingly intelligent play, like above the rim strategic play. That was so smart. And you'll have to see it for yourself. But there's so many opportunities for a poker player in this show because ultimately what you're looking for, you're looking to read people. You need to read people when they're lying. You need to hear the things they say, their mannerisms, their facial expressions. If you are a traitor yourself, so here's the thing.
I think it's also important when they take that mask off to look at everybody.
Yeah. If you're a traitor yourself, you have to blend in. You have to hide, but not too much so that it seems like you're not,
it's really
playing
stressful
the game,
for a traitor.
But it's also stressful if you are faithful and people start suspecting you as a traitor. And you're like, bro, I'm faithful. Like, I swear to you I am. But like, people are like, I don't know, man.
I think it's much more stressful to be a traitor. Sneaking around. They give you all these things you have to do, sneak around and go in here and go in there when people are all around. Like the little tasks they make them do, and then to still come off as genuine and like that you're not a traitor. So you never get to be yourself, really.
I got a strategy idea just from watching the pattern of how some of the traitors misplay their position, right?
Oh, yeah.
When you're a traitor, you have to think like, well, how would you act if you were faithful when these discussions come up about who could be a traitor, right? If your answer is like, I don't know.
They do that
anybody,
a lot.
Like, whatever. So you're just trying to fly under the radar, right? But when it becomes so obvious that that's what, especially if that's not your personality.
When you never
type.
name anyone.
If you're like on this season, Sam, who dated Britney Spears.
Sam Asghari.
Yeah. He's
married. He was married to her.
Yeah, I'm saying he's not suspect. You know what I mean? Because like him just being quiet, going to flow, like that's his personality.
He's like a really meek, sweet guy.
So he's not like, but if imagine a guy who's like me, super boisterous, super opinionated. I go on the show and they ask me, what do you think about her? I don't know. Could be anybody.
I've been really impressed with Zac Efron's brother.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had a brother.
He's on there too.
But he's really good.
So what's cool about the show too, and this is, I've never really asked to go on a reality show.
And you did, right?
I'm reaching out to try to allow myself to go on this summer. And if it means missing half the World Series of Poker, I'll do it.
This is crazy.
Yeah,
I can't believe you would miss half the World Series of Poker.
For this, it's so up my alley. I want to do this so badly. It sounds like a lot of fun. What's also cool about it is they get people from different walks of life. So you have little cliques, right? You have the housewives from different housewife shows. You have the people from The Challenge.
Bachelor.
You have Bachelor Nation. You have Survivor. You have Big Brother.
Selling Sunset.
Selling Sunset. So what's great about it, I think for you and me, like the first season, one of the key reasons you were into it is because you didn't know any of the people, right?
I know all of these people.
Right. And it's way more fun when you have people you root for, like Chriselle, and I obviously Rob, who, we're friends with.
Well, I'm always rooting for Rob.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think it's really smart on their part to bring in people from various walks of life.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But then you just see who you vibe with, and you kind of do have to make alliances.
And the friendship thing, this is, I think, that's hard for a lot of people. Like you see it, like people that are friends outside the show, but like you're contractually obliged. You can't tell people you're a traitor.
You can't, you'll get in trouble.
You have to lie. So
yeah.
You and me on the show, let's say we were both on the same season, and you say, babe, are you a traitor? I'm like, no, honey, I'm not. I'd have to lie to you.
I would know.
You'd know my live face.
I would know
Whatever, it's fine.
immediately.
She always knows my live face. That's why I don't lie to her.
You would know mine though.
You already lied. Like I can see it right now.
I'm laughing, but I think I could get one over on you.
You probably sure you could. I'm sure you could.
Oh, stop. Stop. I think I would be a good traitor on there.
You would be a better traitor.
Just because I don't need to be friends with everybody.
Here's my concern, right? For me, and it is what it is. Whatever I say on there, I'm a game player.
Yeah.
I play poker. So here's the problem. Twofold. One, most people are not going to trust what I say anyway.
Never.
Because they assume, when people hear poker, they think bluff, they think lie.
Yeah.
They don't realize that I spent 30 of my years of my career having the best hand. I don't bluff that much.
But
I bluff
if they don't know anything about it, they just see you're a poker player.
The other problem is this. If you're the Traitors, okay, you don't want to get caught. Okay. So if I come out there as poker player, I make some reads, I'm like, what are they going to do to me? They're going to kill me. So it's like a strategy thing.
It's a balancing act.
Even if I know, and here's the thing, if you go after a traitor, if I say I know somebody's a traitor, if I don't have the numbers, I'm not going to go after the person. I'm just going to go with the flow. Everyone's voting for Christian. Okay, bye Christian. I know it's not. I know you're not a traitor.
With the flow.
Right? Because like when you take your shot, like you said, like Efron's brother, when you take your shot and you don't have the numbers, now you put a target on your head.
When you take it too quickly.
Yeah, if you put because now let's say I'm a traitor. You just called me out. You called me out. So I'm like, we need to get rid of him.
Yeah.
But then the traitors have to go like this. They go, yeah, but if you get rid of him, it's going to be obvious it was you. Because you guys went at it. You know what I mean? So there's like so much psychology. I know some poker players
we could go on together. I remember a couple who did do that.
Yeah, they didn't
Alex
do so well.
Gray from WPT, she did.
Oh, in the UK
She
version.
and her boyfriend went on together in the UK. This was one of the first seasons, so you can go back and watch it. But like, apparently, I don't know who won the season, but they got so stressed that they admitted they're a couple.
Really?
In the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Like Tom was her boyfriend and he's like some magician, but he just said, I can't do it anymore. She's my girlfriend. And everyone was like, oh, what?
Yeah.
She's your girlfriend. And they like, I don't know if they were faithfuls or traitors or whatever they were, but they admitted to
Look at this guy.
To everyone that they were together.
Okay, so what I was thinking was some poker players, they actually get together and they play werewolf.
Yeah, you said.
Like in a house or something. I'm thinking like it'd probably be beneficial for me because I've never played the game. Maybe if we can get some people together and just play it amongst ourselves for fun.
Yeah.
And practice. But I'm serious about, so the people who cast that show, they already know me because
you still have to send in videos and shit.
I auditioned. Well, I would do an interview. I auditioned for years ago, Dancing with the Stars.
I was going to ask you something about that.
They are the same casting crew and they liked me.
That doesn't make sense. That's two different people.
No, the casting agency is the same.
Okay.
That did that show and this one apparently.
Okay.
So they liked me. They just didn't think at the time like poker was a fit. The Disney, I don't know. Whatever.
ABC is what it was.
Yeah, but I mean
ABC.
ABC. Yeah,
Disney's brand new for them.
I guess they just weren't sure, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is Peacock.
Of all the shows, like this one seems to be the one that I need to make an effort to go on. And it's not about the money because frankly, here's what I'd have to do.
It's not much money.
I'd have to fake giving a shit about the money.
I know.
Because they do some shit.
They're like, yay, 7,000 at some point.
Like you go through mud, bugs, rats. What do you call those things?
You'd have tapped out.
Maggots?
Maggots, yeah.
I'm like, to get what? $2,500 for the group?
Yeah. And they're like, you can tap out. And you were like,
so you can tap out for $1,000. I'd be like, tap. I tap for the
then
team.
You're a pussy
How about this?
and no one wants you on their team.
How about if I do this? What if I do this? Okay, there's $20,000 in the challenge. I'm like, guys, let's not do the challenge. I'll throw 20 at the pot.
Yeah, and then you just ruin
I'd be
the show.
such a dick. I mean, there's people that are on there way richer than we are.
Yeah, totally. I just think it's funny because you gotta like play those games though. Remember, you're like, I'd tap out immediately. I'm like, I wouldn't. I would go.
No,
through,
I know. I'm
I
saying
would be
I
like
wouldn't want
going
to
through
let
the
them
tunnel
down.
and with the rats.
I wouldn't want to let them down, but I would like, yay, we added 7,500 to the pool.
Yeah.
Woo! Right? Like first prize, I think is like $250K or something. I don't know what other money it adds to the pool, and you'd split it with the faithfuls. But like, it's not about the money. It's about the life experience. At this point in my life, like, Survivor's another one I'd love to do. But
that's
this
a
one,
lot of training.
It's hard. Like Boston Rob told me,
I think the water stuff would get you.
Yeah, I would have to.
You'd have to
learn how
really
swim.
practice that stuff because they go underwater for long periods of time and push heavy shit under the water, and like you don't like water stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't swim that well. I swim like this.
And you cannot.
Yeah, I'd have to learn how to swim.
I'll teach
Rob
you.
told me it's no joke. He's like, a lot of people think, oh, so what do they give you sandwiches on breaks? Like, no,
No.
dude, there's no food.
You get like a little thing of rice, like a little dab of rice
like-
sometimes.
And you're not allowed to. This is the thing I would have tried to do, like, because you don't know which plants are poisonous. Because like I would fucking boil up some plants.
I
and just
don't
eat
know.
'em.
You can't
But they
trust
say
them.
you could die. Like if you eat the wrong
I think
ones.
it's like forbidden to eat. Like
You're not
weird
allowed to.
Yeah.
It's like a rule on the show. You can't.
Yeah, you would have to like suck it up and eat a fish that someone caught. You'd be so sick.
Yeah. So would you want to be a traitor or would you want to be a faithful?
I don't know. I've thought about this. I think it would be easier to be a faithful, just easier on your like stress wise.
Yeah.
I
Just go
think
with
so.
the
I'd
flow.
probably rather do that. But traitor just sounds
You just
more
want to do what's
exciting.
easier.
No, I think traitor sounds more exciting.
Is it crazy? I'm already developing strategies for the show and I'm not even on it.
No, I feel like I am, and I'm not. On
I got
it.
some ideas, man.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because as we were watching, and I won't say what happened, I literally paused it and I go, you know what I would do if I was Rob here? Or this would be a
You
good
paused
strategy.
it a lot.
I paused it and I said, this would be a good strategy if so. Literally on the episode, 20 minutes later, Rob does exactly what I said I would do in that spot.
We did.
He was so smart. Yeah, he's really, really sharp. Got a good games player. He adds a lot to the shows too because, he's like a superstar in that world.
Yeah, and he plays poker too.
Oh yeah,
so he knows gameplay.
He worked with Chance and Foxen and them, and like he wants to be good. We did a reality show together. Do you know that? You never saw that.
Which one?
Me and Rob. We did a reality show called Rob and Amber Against All Odds. I'm going to show you this. This is you might not like that. Like when I did that show, there was a different wife.
I don't
wife
give a
at the
shit.
time. I know you don't care.
What
But,
do I
like,
care?
You never heard about this show that I did?
I don't
Rob
know.
and Amber Against All Odds. I'm going to have to look it up and show you. The whole concept of the show was Rob wanted to become a professional poker player, and I was going to coach him. This is when I lived other place. Or whatever. And it was like we shot like a 13 episode. It was on Fox Reality.
Oh, fun.
You didn't even know about that.
Never heard of it.
Okay.
Never heard of it. Must not have been a great show.
It was one of
Just
those
kidding.
things where like, I think like, here's the problem with it. It wasn't, like you learn like with the Kardashians, whatever, these reality shows, they're not real. Like what happens is, okay, here's the scene we're doing, right?
Yeah.
So you just got here, you're waking them up, and then your guys are going to talk about like, what you're going to play.
Why do you think they wake up full makeup?
Right, exactly. So like, it's reality in the sense that what comes out of people's mouths is their own choice, but the conversation topics are often
leading,
provided and staged. Like they want you to do this. Like that happens on all the shows. Like Selling Sunset. You're going to meet for lunch, you two, and you're going to talk. Like you wouldn't have done that. They're trying to create the drama. So so it's reality-esque, right? A show like Survivor, that's real reality.
Their conversations are real, but they just give you a leading topic.
Yeah. Yeah, they just, they set the stage for you to create the show arc and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't do a season 2 on that one.
Didn't work out.
No.
Maybe you could do it the other way around this time. Rob teaches you Survivor.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? You were
would be
teaching him to be a poker player. Now he can teach you how to be a
That
survivor.
would be a short series.
Why?
Whatever. What is he going to, he's just got to do the physical stuff.
No, you set up so many different games to play.
Swim and do puzzles.
I would do the games with you.
That's the thing
fun.
is I'm not great at, are you good at puzzles?
Decent.
Those puzzles are hard.
That's the thing I would be best at, I think.
You'd be the puzzle queen.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd be good at. I'm very impatient.
You hate heights.
I don't like being
you don't
hungry.
hate heights.
I think I don't like being hungry. I don't swim good.
You would be terrible, babe.
I don't like being malnourished. I need my water.
You'd be hangry and
I don't like
asshole-ish.
sleeping on on the floor like that.
Yeah, you're right. Very impatient. This isn't the show for you. I think you need to go on Traitors.
Yeah, I do, because that is, but the thing is, I have really good control over understanding. Like I've been on camera enough to know like not to act like that, but like my go-to is to rant.
You've also been on camera and
my
acted like that.
My Tourette's would just fly.
Yeah.
You don't know that I have that, but I don't have.
Listen, I've never brought it up, even though all my shit's brought up. I've never brought that up because you get weird about it.
Oh, only reason I get weird about it is when I see somebody else with Tourette's.
Yeah.
It triggers mine instantly. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like I see some, and I don't have the Tourette's, which is the diarrhea of the mouth one. I have the one with the ticks in the eyes.
And some people have both.
And the
big
blinking.
time. Yeah.
So when I think about it,
you start to do
stuff
it.
like that happens.
Yeah.
And then it's, but like, there was one guy, he's a comedian, Samuel Comrie, I think it was, who he was on AGT and he had Tourette's. And like, I went to go see him too. And he's like, I could tell you had Tourette's too. Because he saw me in the crowd. I met him after the show.
He could tell?
And he's like, yeah, I figured you did because you did it right after I did. It triggers me. Like,
yeah, of course. There's a new show out about a girl with Tourette's that's like, she has the verbal one and she's just like yelling cock and stuff every 5 seconds. And like, she literally hates that she does that, but she can't stop it. Why is it always bad words that they yell?
I don't know. Like the Larry David episode, remember the guy in the back had Tourette's?
Yeah.
And then everyone starts going, blah, blah, blah.
Andy's obsessed with the show. You should ask him.
Yeah.
It's his new favorite show.
I do curse. Like, my curses are very Romanian-esque because they don't make any sense.
I know.
Like, they go, we don't want to curse too much because of the show, whatever, but like, the words are out of sequence, like, that I say. Like,
Oh, I know. Yeah, yeah.
Like, there's no such thing as, but I'm this.
I know.
Like,
I wonder if that is your Tourette's a little bit sometimes.
It could be.
But why is it? Why do Tourette's people always yell bad stuff? Why don't they yell just normal shit like hat, wall? Like, why don't they yell
What about
things?
the one where I did
why
to this
is it
guy?
always bad?
Do you have this clip? I don't know if you want to play this. This Eric Estrada was talking about you. I was ripped at the time. Remember when I was in COVID time?
Yeah.
I was playing online and some guy said some shit about you that I didn't like. It's like, come at me. And I said, Eric Estrada, I said, yeah. I said, okay, step to me. I said, I will you in your ass and I will break your teeth. I'll break your teeth and then I'll feed them to you.
It was weird. Like whatever you said was weird.
Who comes up with that?
I don't know, but it was funny as
How did that
fuck.
thought? I know. You know who plays it all the time? Sam Soverall. He loves it.
It's
funny.
funny.
We're at this poker studio. It's like, look, he just plays it at the table.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous when I lose my shit.
A lot of people think it's funny.
I do too. The ones that don't, I'm like, I just don't care.
I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, whatever. Oh, domestic violence. Derp.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, I'm standing up for my woman.
That's not domestic violence.
No,
that's
but they
the
were saying,
opposite.
it's evidence of the. Well,
You're standing up for me. That's the
it's violent.
opposite.
I did get banned on Twitch.
You're violent against that.
I got banned on Twitch
for that?
Yeah, it was a lifetime ban, by the way. But then, like, I got it shortened because we talked to some people because I didn't know the rules. I didn't know you couldn't I didn't know you weren't allowed to threaten the chat like that. And because some people were saying like, "Oh no, Dan, you can't do that." I'm like, "What'd I do?" I just said I
don't know. People thought it was funny.
I'll break your. You step to me. I'll break your teeth.
Feed them to you. It was a weird
dental
thing.
proctologist. And then I did a thing because like there was a guy in poker who I don't like. Oh, it's disgraceful what you did. So I did a video the next week where I wore a suit.
Yeah.
And I said, I'd like to address some of the comments that I made last week. Okay, so in light of, this is kind of hard for me to do, but I have to do it. All right, I would like to, formally apologize for suggesting that breaking a troll's teeth and then is the appropriate way to deal with an opposing viewpoint. The process is lengthy and tiresome and not at all practical. I mean, it's incredibly difficult to shatter teeth, and even for a practicing dentist, and even more difficult to place them individually in some. So this is not the best way to handle a troll. In the future, I will simply ignore the comment and click the block button. And I feel, I owe absolutely nothing. It's like I'm not apologizing. No. Yeah. We don't apologize. It's weak.
I mean, for things like that, like someone's rude and comes after you.
I mean, you deserved it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Eric Estrada.
I don't remember the name. I mean,
I only remember it because only reason I remember it is because of Sam, because he always says it.
Yeah.
Sam Soverall is low key in poker, one of the funniest dudes ever.
You've told me
but
that.
None of it is like PG. None.
So they can't air any of it.
No, it's so raunchy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, whatever. just random things.
Sure?
Huh?
You can tell his stories?
No, it's not even a story, but like he'll just have weird thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Like the cocktail waitress will come by and, offer drinks. And he'll look at her and she's got like tattoos or something like that. And he's like, he'll just look at someone and be like, how much you want to bet she needs to get choked to
Oh my God.
And then he goes, and then I start laughing. I was like, what are you saying? He's like, how much for Daniel? He just is like, how much for me? Like, I need to be choked.
Yeah. I kind of get it. What he means.
But he just
It's
randomly,
funny.
like, he looked at her and he's like, she's one of them. You know what I mean?
Daniel doesn't like being choked.
No, I'm not a.
Unfortunately.
Well, you want to choke me?
No, we talked about it before.
You choking me? What are we going to
Yeah,
do?
you were like, I don't like that. Don't do things like that. Remember? I don't want to be choked. I'm like, well, I do.
Okay, I'll choke you.
You're afraid to do it.
What? I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah, you're
but
afraid to like hurt me.
I choke you. I do what I'm told.
You're a little bit afraid.
Choking you? I mean, like, that's my
Yeah.
natural way. I don't want to hurt you, but like, you know,
Yeah.
you like it. So we'll choke and pull and
I won't choke you.
yeah, you definitely won't.
Was that we were going to talk about something else and I can't remember.
One other thing you mean?
Yeah.
Your DoorDash?
Should we talk about it?
Yeah.
I think it's an important topic and we can end on that if you want. If whatever. So you have to really be careful with Uber Eats and like DoorDash and all these places, especially if you're a woman and you're home by yourself. I've learned now that someone just told me the other day that you should change your name to a man's name. Like put
Good
your
idea.
name on there instead of mine so that they don't know that they're going to a woman's house to drop
Brock.
off food or whatever. Yeah.
Just put like Marcus.
Yeah, anyone. And
Deshante.
Christian he probably remembers. Remember when I had the weirdo at the door? So I wanted to talk about this. So this guy, I've been waiting on my food forever and I was here by myself. You were playing some PGT thing and I was home alone. And I'm already weird about being home alone in a big house. I like small areas because I don't know, I get freaked out, especially with like windows and things. So I was already home alone in a new house here. And this guy, you know, they drop your food off and you think they're gone. Right. And me, I was just hungry and ran down, didn't think about like waiting for them to leave. And now I really pay attention.
Good.
So I thought
And it was like 11 p.m.
Yeah. And I thought he was gone. I was like this, you know, looked. And I walk out into the gate and he goes, "Hey, Amanda." And I'm like, and like my heart just felt like it stopped. And I'm like, and I'd already had my hand on the gate to open it. So it was open like this much, like this much. And I grabbed my food, the bag, and closed the door between us. And he kept talking. He's like, "Hey, Amanda, you look really good tonight." And I'm like, because with women, you don't know how to be.
Right.
So you don't want someone to like hurt you.
You don't want to get into it. Like,
So
you don't want to escalate.
So you just like, you're nice, but you want it to go away. Right. So I'm
Nice,
like,
but not
I
come
gotta
on
go.
in and have tea.
I was like, yeah, grab a drink or whatever. Go, like, you know, something like that. And he's like, "Hey, you know, I've always wanted to see the lake behind your house." And I was like, "Yeah, I can't really see it. It's night," you know, something like that. And he's like, "But like, if I came in and came around back, I could see it." And I was like, "No, can't see it at night anyway. So I'm going to go." You know, I'm walking away and he just keeps talking. He keeps talking. And I'm freaked out because he keeps saying my name, which creeps me out more. I go inside and I lock everything and turn the alarm on.
Do you have an accent?
Yeah. And he had like a Middle Eastern accent. His name, I remember his name was Abbad.
Abad.
Yeah. And I go back inside, I lock everything, turn on the alarm, and then he's still standing out there. And I'm looking at the camera and he's still standing out there. And not only is he standing out there, I can see the light on his phone. He's standing back away from out of the camera view. And he's standing against the wall. So I can see
Hoping
his
that you
phone.
go back out there?
Like, I don't know, but like out of camera view.
So had you grabbed the food by now?
Oh, I grabbed it immediately. That was the first
But
thing
how
I
did
did.
you grab the food without
Because when
through the gate?
he said, "Hi, Amanda," and I'd already had the door open. And he was back here. So I didn't see him. He was standing off to the
So you
side.
grabbed the food and then closed the door.
Grabbed, closed, quickly. And he was talking to me through the gate. You know, our gate,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
could see each
That's
other
why
a
I'm like-
little.
I
You
thought
could see
maybe
each
you
other
just
a
left
little.
the food. Yeah.
No, I just was trying to get away from him. And then he's standing out there, and I look 5 minutes later, he's standing out there and like against the wall with his phone. See his car there too. So finally he gets in his car, and I'm like talking to house guests on the phone because I didn't know what to do. You were playing, didn't want to bother you. You were like 7 people left. And he sits in his car for a while, like way too long. He backs up, drives that like to the left, drives around again.
Yeah.
And I'm like really freaking out now. Like, what is he doing? What's the point of this, right? Stops again in front of the house a bit, goes around again, and then finally leaves. But it was a long period of time for him to be out there. Especially for him to be out there standing, out of camera view. Like, he knew the camera was right there. He knew.
Yeah.
Or he wouldn't have, like, stood back. So you just have to be careful with that
The best
stuff.
way to handle, obviously, say, they give you an option. Meet at the door.
I always say leave.
Leave at the door.
Yes.
Right? And then the other thing, because we have cameras, is like, don't ever go out there until you see that they've left.
Definitely not now.
Yeah. Like,
But also, remember, he was standing
late at
out of
night.
view.
Right, but I'm saying his car. You can see his car
right.
out front.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's scary. Yeah, I was like, as soon as I thought that, I'm like, 11 o'clock at night, don't be out there with some guy named Abad.
I know, and I shouldn't be like out there at 11 at night. Anyway, I don't know what I was doing. Just awake.
Yeah,
Wanted
you're
something.
like, well, you wouldn't, I'm generally like, you're just living your life. You don't want to necessarily be thinking about these horrible things that could happen, but like there is an element of like safety you have to take as a,
Nope, these things happen every day.
Yeah.
Bad things. He could have pushed himself through that gate.
Yeah, you're like, I know you're strong for your size, but you're tiny.
Mm-hmm.
It won't take much.
No, because just me opening the gate like this much, he could have just shoved it open right then. And I would have been fucked.
Yeah, literally.
Literally. Probably. Probably thrown in the fucking lake or something. I would have been fucked.
Maybe he would have choked you.
He really wanted to see the lake. Fuck you. Fuck you. You know what? People are going to go after you for that. People are going to go after you for that, for being such a fucking idiot in the middle of my bad story, which I think is funny too, but it's not funny.
We got Christian cracked up.
I know. You did. I'm going to choke the shit out of you tonight.
Oh, good luck with that. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, girls, be careful.
Yeah,
shit is crazy.
I mean, you just have to be careful. Like, I had a friend of mine.
You freaked out when I texted you about it.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine. She worked in wildlife. Okay.
In wildlife?
Like wildlife, like going to, elephants and lions, like big wildlife.
That.
And she would go help the ones that were sick or whatever.
Love
She's
that.
like a blonde. She was English blonde. She was a good looking girl.
Yeah.
She went to India by herself.
Woo.
I mean,
I know a lot of women who do travel alone.
Incredibly lucky because, like, she told me some stories. Incredibly lucky that from the cab ride to the whole process that she wasn't not only raped but murdered. Because, like, there are parts of India, sort of a side topic, but there are lots of areas there where, because of the dowry system, right, that is illegal, but some people still, work within that framework. Yeah. The dowry system is this: if you have a girl when she's old enough to marry, and you marry a man, you have to give a whole bunch of jewelry and all this kind of stuff. It costs a lot of money. So what happens is, sadly, is a lot of young girls are killed, like not aborted in the womb, just once they're born, they're buried. Right. So there's like one area in India where like there's no women almost. It's like almost no women, right? So imagine this group, like a large group of a big population, and they see you walk in. Mm-hmm. There's no hope. Like they'll rip you to shreds.
It's like I felt in Romania.
Really? In Romania? There's plenty of beautiful women in Romania.
No, it was just, I feel like the only blonde, they were all staring at me.
There's plenty of blondes. Oh, they were staring at you because you were like big time. You remember how like they treated us like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie when we went there?
Yeah, I'm just saying there was a lot of men there.
Did I tell you what the journalist said to me?
Yeah. Yeah, she was like creepy as hell.
Well, she
was creepy.
She was. She
kept following you.
She was interviewing me. And I'm there with you. And she knows it.
Yeah.
And she says to me in Romanian flat out, she's like, what are you doing with her?
Yeah.
Take me and I'll marry you.
Yeah. She's like, I want to be a fucking citizen.
I said, oh, that's sweet. I don't know. No thanks.
Yeah, she was creepy. She was giving me mean looks all night.
She did?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
She kept following you.
You were in her way.
So awkward.
You were in her way. Romania.
Yeah.
I have friends.
I actually liked Romania though. It was fun.
We should go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Travel. See the world.
Do you want to travel and see the world?
Not really. You?
We've done a lot of that.
In the past.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I would do it now.
I think
but you know what? We have a lot going on. We have to wait.
Anywhere right now. Like I think poker wise, like I haven't played any poker this year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play probably the first series at Poker Go Studio, but like I haven't felt like it. I've been enjoying doing the podcast.
I was gonna say you haven't felt like doing anything.
No, that's true. Yeah, January's been like a discarded month in a lot of ways, but it's okay. I don't beat myself up about it because I realize like I'm somebody who's very goal driven, and I will get back on my.
But we've also been focused on me.
Yes. So
that makes
part of it was, and this isn't me disparaging, but like, it's just the reality, like with the IVF stuff, my focus was on you. Mm-hmm. Wake up, take you there, do all the things, so I wasn't really worried about my regimen and my schedule and all that sort of stuff. That took a back seat.
Yeah.
And so I didn't start the year off like I often do with like a plan and all this kind of stuff. So I've sort of been, like I said, having beers, eating pizza, watching stuff, not working out. But the good news, like I said, I'm not worried about it.
Who cares?
And I also know, like, if I'm doing it, it's just giving myself a break.
Yeah.
Like I'm not down about it. I'm not depressed about it.
Yeah.
I do feel a little softer already.
Yeah.
And that, like today, I actually did before the game. I went into the gym and I did like for the first time, I did like 10-minute circuit, like literally.
That's
10 minutes.
good though.
I got the blood flowing. It wasn't
something.
like heavy weights. I was just moving around, doing some stuff. So I'll get back on track. I think I don't have a date in mind, but like when I feel like it, and I'll get back to playing poker. And,
yeah, it's good you're not stressed about it because
no.
usually you have something in your head that you want to be doing, and lately it's just kind of a chess and
I'm
nothing.
playing so much. I can't. Someone has to explain this to me how this is possible. And it's
how bad you are right now.
No, it's the most amazing. I cannot, and I'm a smart human being, but I cannot figure out how this happens. I played for like a week straight. Okay. I think I know, but I'm going to see maybe people can help me. I'm playing 10-minute games. I got my rating up to like 1275. My high is like 13 and change. That's really good for me. Right.
Okay.
And I was winning all the games and I was seeing everything. I'm like, oh, they're trying to do this and they're trying to do this. And I could see it all ahead of time. Right. Then all of a sudden, I'm going to tell you what I did in between. All of a sudden, I'm losing and losing and losing, and I can't see. And I just hand my queen over. I blunder, and I'm just losing these games that I had won. And now I'm all the way down to like 1080 or something. I lost like all these games in a row.
Maybe your head's just
and now
not in
I'm
it.
looking at it, and I'm like, what? Now before I had a plan, I knew what I was doing, and all of a sudden it was just disappeared. Here's what I think happened. I decided to screw around and play short games, like not 10-minute games, like 3-minute games.
You
And when
used
you
to
play
do that
3-minute
sometimes.
games, when you play 3-minute games, you act really, really quickly.
Yeah.
So you don't think at a deep level as much. And so I think I got that as my new trained mind, but like I can't get it back.
So you should just go back to 10-minute games
I am.
and
but
not do any.
I
three.
am.
Okay.
I'm doing only that. But I'm at like, now I think I'm at like 1120 or something. And I play and then I'm like, okay, how did I get here? I'm just dead. It's so, because before when I was at that, like, so I couldn't possibly lose to one of these people.
Freezing.
Okay, time to
It's
go.
okay. It's fine.
No, it's that time. Anyway,
Yeah.
I got the message. I got the memo.
Yeah. I would talk to you more about chess, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking
No,
about.
I just, it's not even about chess so much as it is like just the mind and how like,
you could,
it's so
you
like,
just kind of lost
everyone
it.
has this. So whether you play baseball, you play sport, you play golf, right? Sometimes people golf and they're just like, they make every putt. They hit every green.
Yeah.
They're like, but then all of a sudden they can't. And now they search and try to get back like, what was I doing before? Which is odd because it's happening in golf for me now too.
That's what you said.
Yeah. It's odd. Like, how do I get back to what I was doing before? Why can't I do it anymore? And I think it's true of like a lot of things, you know, and poker too. Like, you know, sometimes you're in the zone and you're seeing all the spots, and other times you're like, oh God, you know, oops.
Yeah.
Didn't see that one. Like I played, the funny thing was I played the PGT Championship, the one event I played. My mindset was
You
so
just
good.
weren't into it, right?
No, my mindset was so good. I felt good.
Oh.
And I was really doing good stuff. But then I made like 2 mistakes in a row. Well,
I thought you said you weren't into it.
yeah, no, I made 2 mistakes. Yeah, I made 2 mistakes that I just didn't think on a deep enough level. But
So for you, that meant like not good in time to play?
no, I was doing fine, like I said. And I guess I was out of stroke and like I just didn't, you know, like I said, the shot clocks, they hurt me more than most people because I don't use the time banks. I should.
I tell you.
I never get up. I hate the time pressure. Chess clock would be much better for me so that I could actually just take my time. But there was whatever. This isn't a poker pod, but it was a spot where I was hoping the guy would bet the river because I had a very, very strong hand. And he did. And then I didn't raise him because I was worried if I raised him, what if he re-raised all in and I would have to call or something? Whereas it was against Jesse Lonis, a good young player. Whereas like, I want that. I want to raise.
What's your problem?
Well, I just thought I took the low variance route, and I just didn't think. What I didn't think about was he's the type of guy that if I raised him, he would turn a mediocre hand into a bluff, and then I could call and win a huge pot. But instead, I just called. I'll tell you, whatever. For some people who play poker,
Okay, we'll get into that.
Whatever. I had King Jack. I 3-bet him. Came King 9 blank. I bet he called. Turn was a king. He checked. I checked back. Tricky.
Oh, got to check.
Turn
back
was
there.
a 7. Now he bet like third pot. And I'm supposed to raise him with the 3 kings.
But
here,
did
right?
you say river was a 7, right?
Yeah, 7.
You said turn. Okay.
So turn was a king. I
Yeah.
have 3 kings. So I don't raise him because I'm like, whatever. He's not going to call me anyway, blah, blah, blah. But I thought he was valuable and thin. I thought I had the best hand. So just do it, right? he had ace 9. I won the pot, right? Which is fine. But like, what I should have done was he bet 22,000. I should have made it 60,000, 62,000. Then if he goes all in, call.
You're being so careful.
Yeah, that was just dumb. And the other one was the bluff that I ran, the big one that you saw. That's actually, the mistake wasn't the bluff. The mistake was
when you bet 135,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look at me remembering hands.
Yeah, that part wasn't the mistake. The mistake was the turn. I should have folded.
So you just weren't in it.
Or I should have used speech play. That's what I should have done.
Yeah, what's going on with you?
I got it. Don't worry. When fucking Poker
I'm
Go
just
Cup.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Poker Go Cup, show me that. I got a Poker Go Cup trophy.
Yeah,
No.
you need to get another one.
Now
when you drank out of that dirty cup?
That's right there.
Yeah, but like before they've been
I'm
washed,
sure I'm gonna get something from
you
that.
put like a beer in it and drank
Carrie
it.
looked at me and was like,
ugh. I did too. I was like, ugh.
I think I
bet it had
cleaned
like
it
thick
out.
dust in there.
Who
Like,
cares,
you
man?
think that Brent or any of those guys washed
Yeah.
your cup out
What
for
do you think? You know what these people do?
Do you think
know what
that?
these people do? The English do on the rails, or they used to do the World Series
I
poker.
don't care.
Rory's a good man. Rory's a good man. They take their shoe off. They pour the
That's
beer,
disgusting.
and they drink the freaking
Yeah,
beer
and
out of their shoe.
You know what I think of that?
Rory's a good man. I don't know the cheers, but they have the best cheers.
I think that that's fucking rancid.
Yeah, but it's
so
it's not going
gross.
to do anything to you.
Hey, by the way, guys, people will ask in the comments. I know they'll ask about an update with the IVF stuff. So we are 2 weeks into waiting on genetics. So they said 2 to 3 weeks. So should know something by next podcast.
Okay.
Just so
Yeah,
you know.
and one other thing, like with the whole dust and shit that you worry about.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I worked in a kitchen.
I don't care.
I worked in kitchens.
I don't want to hear about that.
I know you don't.
I don't want to hear about that.
I know you don't, because if you did, you would literally
I don't
never
wanna hear about
eat
it.
food from any DoorDash.
Yeah, but I won't eat
any-
food. I won't
You
eat
won't
any
eat
food at all.
anything. I know.
Then I'll just die.
If you only knew.
Yeah, I don't even like
So-
when I'm afraid that you use dirty shit.
I don't.
So like,
I
but,
promise you, the cleanliness that I perform in our kitchen is 1,000 times cleaner than
Yeah.
the food that you eat from all the DoorDash
yeah, you just
places.
eat expired food, and I
I don't do that to you anymore.
anymore.
I did it one time. One time you said, "Oh, the almond milk is open for 3 days
And
extra."
no, but
da-da-da.
here's what it got me. He promised me. Not only did you promise, I said, yes, you can make me a smoothie, but promise you won't use that almond milk that's already open. It's been in there a long time. I know
I
it
must
has.
have forgot.
And you said, I won't use that one, babe. You brought me that nasty
And I
fucking
used
smoothie.
it.
Yes, but because you use it like this. You go like, it's not bad. She's just crazy. And you bring it upstairs, and it was rancid. I go, ugh. It was so gross. I even made you taste it. And you were like, okay, fine. It was
Yeah,
bad.
This didn't happen.
It was bad. And then you go downstairs, almond milk old. When it's old, it has chunks in it.
I know. I won't, like I said.
But
I
you
mean,
promised.
with you, I check dates on everything. Like your stuff, when it's in the freezer or whatever that you buy that you never eat.
Just throw it away.
As soon as I you know what I look forward to? This is crazy. I look forward to the day they expire so it can fucking free up some room in the freezer.
No, and you know what? You look
Because she'll
forward-
have these Eggos, right? That she bought like 3 years ago. And I'm like, these
No,
fucking things.
those are new.
I
Don't
know,
throw
but
those
sometimes
away.
I look at the dates, but sometimes I see these fucking things piling up, this ice cream, all this stuff she bought. Never eat. I'm like, I check the date. I'm like, okay, I got another month and I can throw
First
this out.
of all, Joel used to buy me extras of things that
He
I didn't
did.
ask
That's
for.
true. He would have backups of
Because
the Eggos.
he did backups, which
Yeah.
is fine.
But you have this thing with food where like you buy something, but then you forget it's there.
I forget, yeah.
Like you have those Snickers.
But
in
those,
you have so many things that you would like to eat that
Yeah.
you don't know you have.
Listen, the Eggos I just got when you were playing poker. So
Okay.
those are
I'm
brand
what
new.
the Snickers, you know?
Snickers ice cream bars?
You got Snickers
oh,
ice cream bars?
God, those are good.
Yeah, how old
those
are
are-
those?
They're old as fuck.
Well,
they
you'll
have
eat
to
them.
be a year old.
You won't eat them. They'll have freezer burn maybe.
That's when it sucks.
Yeah.
That's when it sucks. I would eat those if it didn't have that freezer burn taste. Like even when you give me those Gardein Gardein
Yeah, they're in there.
sandwiches,
They're in
if
there.
they're in too long and they get freezer burn, they're disgusting.
Yeah, they're in there. We got a box of those in the fridge too.
I'm sure.
Freezer. Got a whole bunch of stuff. But I look forward to it. I get excited. I'm like, yes, I can throw this shit out.
He actually looks forward to it so he can tell me that he threw it out.
Nope. I don't even tell you anymore.
Yeah, you do.
I do not. I've thrown out so much of your shit. And it's like the day after. So, February 12th. Okay. February 13th, it goes
you
out.
just threw away something of mine and it pissed me off.
What'd I throw out of yours?
Remember, you're like, oh, well, babe, it was there forever. What was it? It wasn't even food. It was like, oh, it was a yoga thing I bought.
She did this like late night 3 a.m, can't sleep, fucking crazy shopping shit. And then she thought she's going to put a flying acrobatic yoga thing in the tree and she's going to fly around the backyard. Whee!
But it was in a box,
acro
brand
yoga.
new, and I wanted to bring it to this house.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I said, where is it?
So you wanted that box to collect dust in this house.
I wanted to put it here and use it.
You would have, if I never mentioned it, you would never, ever, ever, ever even remember in a million years that you ever bought the thing. That's a fact.
This week.
Listen, who do you believe in this one? Okay. Honestly, it was there for years, right?
1 year.
Whatever. She never knew when we moved to this house. Hey, you want to bring my acro yoga? She didn't know that we owned it. Then I mentioned I got rid of it, maybe, because it could be in storage.
I'm going to throw something of yours away this week.
What?
You won't get to know.
It's different.
No,
it is different because I use
you collect
stuff,
a lot of weird shit too.
but I use it.
No, you don't.
I do.
Do you know there's a whole storage full of shit that you have no idea about?
Where?
Our storage unit full of shit.
I know it's there. And I'm going to bring
you
stuff
don't
out.
know.
I clean through it. I do. I've been there.
Remember that closet downstairs that had all your CDs and shit like that?
I know. I got to grab a lot of that.
Okay. I'm just going to throw something away.
Don't.
And then we'll see what happens.
Don't throw
it.
And
through 2 months from now on the
so here's the
podcast,
thing.
I'm going to bring it up.
I didn't throw it away. I just didn't bring it.
No, you threw it away. You told me.
Well, it's the same thing.
You're a liar
What
and
do
a
you mean?
cheat.
I didn't
fucking liar and
take
a cheat.
it to the. Anyway, bottom line is, don't throw away my shit because I use my shit. Okay? See you, peeps.